Hey everyone, welcome to a video review follow-up thing to the build video I just put out. It's the SND 04 Primo X-Mortis upgrade kit, now fully, assembled and everything on the figure. I'm going to actually take a look at the figure itself as it is, now that it's assembled and everything. So I kind of talked a little bit about the figure now at the end, but yeah, it's, well, Nova Prime essentially, and it's, now more or less leader class. It goes from Voyager to leader thanks to the upgrade kit, mostly because of the die pieces. But yeah, it's it's a really good looking figure as it is, like right now. White, more black now predominant on here. The shin pieces and whatnot, black. They kind of look a little like little truck windows, I guess, right here. Black and white, a little bit of gray. Covers up the white and gold on the legs a little bit. There's still some gold here and there, but yeah, it kind of does that. You got the black black face piece, mouthpiece, with blue eyes. Very shiny blue eyes, by the way. Yeah, you got that. I still got the Autobot stickers on there because I just haven't taken them off because I know there's screw holes behind them. So I want to find something to, something to do that. Either just white stickers or symbols. I don't want to buy the whole Repro Labels kit or Toy Hacks kit now for just 2 stickers. If I don't have to. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out eventually, but yeah. But yeah, so that's that. You guys will come in this box, which I really forgot. Real big box. You can see that. You can see the kind of the figure, the pieces that come with it, the actual figure grayed out, and some stuff in the background like the combined modes and the truck mode and all that stuff. It just says Primo X-Mortis on the side, same on this side. Bottom is SND 04. Top, again, the logo. Shigeru Ningo Do. And a barcode, big barcode. On the back, you got wireframes of the same modes again. And up here it says 2018. And down here you got the unlock your figure's true potential. Core components stay attached in main 4 modes. Optional wing removal unlocks the figure's ultimate final form. Includes upgraded weapons and combined mode battle mask and choking hazard and all that stuff. And designed by Bonatron. Yep. Real quick. And of course, in that package, again, you saw this in the build video itself, but the instructions, which build and transformation instructions, which big old book. The build instructions are generally okay. They also include what's in the kit. Build instructions are generally okay. Kind of skip a couple things. Transformation instructions, unfortunately, are sometimes a little vague about where stuff needs to go. So sometimes you're going to sit there fiddling with it, kind of what the heck is going on with this. There was this paper about the kit, the new ratchets, and it came with a plastic card. I'm pretty sure it's plastic. If it's not plastic, it's really nice cardboard. But anyway, got a nice little render of the figure on there. On the back, the ancient evil has returned. Once he was lost within the zombie continuum, but now Primo X-Mortis has returned to feast on the power cores of the living. Can anything stand against this monstrous undead menace? A minor change to the official story, but cool. Again, we getting back to the figure though. It's again takes a weirdly kind of out of proportion Voyager figure and turns into this really cool looking leader class figure, and just looks really good overall. I mean, the thing is, of course, the wings add a lot of weight to the back, which on mine, also my original figure comes with somewhat weak knees, so it doesn't take much for him to start to want to topple over a bit. The only thing that's stopping him here is the wings are catching on the back of the legs. But yeah, if you have the wings fully extended outward, whole different situation. I'll do that real quick just to show you. But yeah, any which way, there's a lot of weight on the back. And yes, it doesn't take a lot. I'm not doing anything there. It just doesn't take a lot because, again, the original figure's knees aren't spectacular. And see, just moving them a little bit causes them to want to fall backwards. Yeah, the only thing I can really do about that is simply try to take apart the knees again, try to add some floor polish, and hope it does something. Yeah, what's the one thing. It's not so much to follow the kit, although you could say it's because of the sheer weight of the wings, but the knees should be able to take it. Mine figures has unusually loose knees. They shouldn't be that loose, but they are. I know that because I have the Menasor and Optimus version of this, and they don't have that same knee problem. And it wasn't because I took apart. They're already pretty loose when I first got the figure. So such is life. Hopefully yours, if you do get this kit, it's better. But yeah, it's got a lot of cool bits on him. He's got little Gatling guns, which can look up and move up and down and rotate side to side a bit. It's cool. His head is on a ball joint end thing because it's the combined mode, old combined mode thing. But it's on a, moves left and right, up and down. It's got this. It can move forward and back a little bit because of it. I guess you can adjust the antenna position. It's on the same articulation as the original figure too. Shoulders forward and back, outward clicks, bicep swivel, elbow, which can actually move back as well. Got a waist swivel. His hips, thanks to the upgraded, both including in my Nana ratchets. Nice clicky. Although, yeah, this is a little softer than it should be. This one's, but they hold. Got knees, thigh swivels, and now ankle tilts. 90-degree ankle tilts plus toe action. Right there, you can do that, I guess. And the heel as well, if you need that. The other thing, of course, is the wings themselves. See that there's a lot of articulation. You got this ratcheted rotation point right there. You got the individual wings all can do this. They all have a lot of clicks and they can move a lot of places. They also have another joint right there, which full 90-degree bend on the wing, in the middle wing too. So that's a lot of articulation just in the wings. If you want. Plus, they can untap from here, and then you gotta, from there you also gotta, see if I can show it on camera very well. See, not only is there this little like swivel right here, there's a ball joint there too. So you can also rotate the wings as you want to. You can have them pointing forward, or you can have them pointed down, or around on the back. There's a lot you can do with the wings. So it's really nice that, there's a lot of articulation on the wings just themselves. The only problem, of course, again, they're heavy, so my figure doesn't like it, and they want to constantly fall over. The other thing is, on my original figure, this joint is a little loose from the original figure, so sometimes the head wants to just fall forward. That's going to come and play a little bit later as well. So there's that. Another cool thing is these Gatling guns can actually be swapped. There's these little spots things right here. You can unplug those. Just a simple thing and pop them out. And you can take the Gatling guns and put them in, supposedly. It's a little stubborn. You're supposed to be able to put them in, but problem is there's a very specific way supposed to go in. You see, they're not just simple 5mm pegs. There's actually little indentations on the side of the peg. See if I can zoom in real quick without this guy falling over on me. Okay. Yeah, you can see that little indentations on the side of the peg right there. So it's supposed to plug in. However, I'm noticing it's kind of stubborn about it. Very much noticing this. It's a little stubborn. It doesn't like to peg in super solid. No matter what I try to do, it just doesn't want to peg in. But you're supposed to be able to swap them. But that doesn't want to go in. But this will peg into here too, if you want. Or not really peg in, but loosely peg in, I guess. Yeah, it's supposed to, but it doesn't seem to work. At least not mine. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, He also, of course, he also comes with 2 weapons. A big old yellow sword, translucent yellow. Big old yellow sword, which you can just, plug in his hand. Like that. He's got this guy, which is another sword type thing. Which can, again, in this mode, he's supposed to hold it like this. So that's kind of 2 swords. You can also take these 2 weapons, and it's not super clear on this. I thought they like combined or something, but they don't. They just kind of, what you do is, well, try to get that out. Mine, the left hand is really tight. Take this, open it up like that. There's a little soft detent in there. Plug it in the top half of the hand a little bit. Don't need to push it too far in. And then take the sword and plug it into the bottom part of the hand. And now he's got, well, the scythe. And it's a big unwieldy scythe, but it's really cool looking. Angel of Death, and you got the, doing the pose of wings and everything, and boom, you got an Angel of Death. So that's really neat. You can just keep him standing. All right. Another thing about these weapons is you can actually untab them from their handles if you want. That doesn't seem to serve much of a purpose, honestly. I thought so to facilitate some sort of combining thing, but they don't seem to actually do that. But they both have that same handle thing, so you can do that with both of them. I'll just go ahead and put those off the side for now. Now, transformation. I started in robot mode because when you make the kit, you're going to be in robot mode. And there's a bit of, I guess, complication that's added because they take that simple Voyager and make him kind of way more difficult to deal with. So, it's also kind of big and unwieldy, so forgive me if things go a little crazy. So first things first, you actually want to take the arms and legs and just kind of spread them out like this. Take the this crotch piece, untab it, and move it back behind. Take these pieces and untab them from the thighs, like so. And take these pieces from the front, kind of undo them from the top, spin them around like this. Spin around that way, and then around to the back. This is part of why you need to move the legs apart, so you have clearance for that. On the back side here, one thing you want to do is while these are out of the way is take this piece and move that like so up. And then also slide it along this rail. And the instructions don't make this clear you're supposed to do this, but it's kind of obvious if you look at it. And then you can move this piece over top, and also make sure to fold this part up like this. Same on this side. Move this up, slide along the rail, and then because I remember I stressed the plastic on my my other SND kit on the Optimus. So make sure to grab it down here to get as close as possible. You don't want to do it up here and stress the plastic out. And then move that back down, move that up, and move this up as well. Now this white piece is going to tab in here and go over this as well. Make sure that's all lined up. That's all tabbed in together like that. Kind of hold stuff together for when you're doing rope, go into truck mode. And do it on the side. Keep these untabbed for now. You'll come back to that. Now, on the back side, and the other thing is make sure when you start folding this all up, you're going to want to wedge this waist piece underneath this stuff back here. I'll show that again when I get further along. But this backside right here, you want to pull the whole wing assembly up and over off the smokestacks. Then pull this all down. This all comes down. You open this up and then collapse this whole thing down into it like you would with the original. And also rotate the head around when you're doing this. You want to rotate the head around and down like this and collapse the antenna down as much as you can and fold this back up. Like so. Yeah, the problem is this is going to be flopping around the entire time. This is the biggest annoyance, is this flops around a lot. You can remove it just to get it out of the way, but I'm going to try to do it without doing so. But it just flops around a lot and just kind of is a pain in the butt to deal with. Because, you know, you're supposed to have this back up and everything. Actually, I think you can just leave this back up. Yeah, that's right, you can put it back up at this point. I think I just hit the camera with the wings. You can just leave that up for now. Okay, back to the front. Yeah, this is what I mean. It's a lot more complicated, especially when you're trying to do it on camera. From here, you want to take these chest pieces, untab them from here, move them out, untab this chest piece as well, move it out forward like this, then move this down and out of the way. And this is where you're going to, you know, all the instructions from before are kind of coming into play here. I'm going to take the legs and tab them together. Back here again, make sure this chest piece is underneath like that. Don't want it down like this, otherwise stuff's going to get in the way and it's not going to be pleasant. Then you know, move the waist, you know, that bottom piece of the waist back, kind of collapsing in whilst also moving this part down. Got to make sure this. That's where it was. That's where it was. Yeah. You also want to move the hips forward. That's what it was, and then bend at the black piece right here, and then move this whole waist piece back. And then, yeah, like this. Sometimes it's annoying because some things will get caught and things will be at the exact wrong angle and stuff won't fit together, and you'll have to sit there fiddling until it works again. But try to do all that. And then you can close these black pieces back in. And that just came undone. And the other thing is, yeah, this wing assembly doesn't like to stay hooked on, unfortunately. Now here what you want to do is take these toes, move them back like this, then slide them into there, like that, all the way in. They click into place and then collapse those, and that's the rear assembly done. You got most of the rear of the truck done at this point. And then I'm gonna go ahead and move this down because we're now in truck mode. Or getting close to truck mode. These pieces, they actually are also on rails. See, there's little rails right there. You slide them in like that, and this whole thing just kind of get the guns out of the way. It just kind of rests back here. It doesn't tab on anything, at least as far as I can tell. It doesn't tab on anything, it just kind of rests. Yeah, I thought they tabbed in, but not really. At least not not as far as I can tell. This looks like they're supposed to. I thought these pieces tabbed into this, but they don't seem to actually do that. It seems there's something kind of... This piece right here kind of gets in the way of that. So it just kind of rests back here. And then from here, it's kind of like you take these pieces out, and it's largely the same as the original figure. At least we wanted this out of the way too. Rotate at the bicep and start untab them from the shoulders. Start bringing them forward and stuff. And you want to start bringing these forward and collapsing inward. And rotate these around. You want to rotate the shoulder pieces around, and again, they're on a rail, slide those out, rotate around, slide out. And this is the problem, is all the extra pieces kind of make things really difficult to fit together at this point, unfortunately. You just kind of are winging it and hoping it all fits together in the end. Because I can't find a decent order to do all this in and make it, you know, makes it all tab in nice and secure and neat and doesn't involve a billion things trying to come undone. You also got to tab these things together and collapse them back like this. This is the problem. I'm noticing this windshield doesn't like to come together as well as it used to because the extra pieces kind of mess with it, unfortunately. When you do all that, you, let's see, you make sure to tab the arms in. Yeah, the arm pieces will, there's the tabs on the black piece they'll tab in there. This is supposed to, so undo that, and this is supposed to fold back. That's what it was. Fold that back and under, and then fold those back, collapse that back in. Yep. Okay, arm pieces tab into the black thigh piece. All those things are slightly misaligned apparently. But yeah. Tab that in up here. Tab those side pieces in. If it's lined up properly, it'll do this. If it's not, well, it won't. I see something's slightly misaligned. That's the problem. It's always the problem, is just something misaligns just enough when I'm doing this, and I have to sit there fighting it for a while before it actually wants to cooperate. It's like something doesn't quite collapse all the way that's supposed to, and you're sitting there, fighting it for a while until something gives. There we go. Okay, and then this side as well. On mine, this panel likes to come off. It's just, that's the way the toy always was. It did that the first time I transformed it out of the box. Yeah, it's all all collapsed in, all tabbed in, and then you just take the guns and point them down, and take the wings and just fold them back. Like so. And that's the truck mode. Yeah, those panels those are the same as the original toy. And the problem is, stuff doesn't like to stay tabbed together anymore, unfortunately. You see this, the wing piece is lifting off the smokestack because of the sheer weight of the wings. It just can't stay on and handle the wing weight anymore as it is. So they just kind of do that. There's not much I can think of to do about that. It's just, that's just how it is. It still rolls and everything. Works still as a truck. You can do the wing thing where you just, this is an official, I guess, flying truck mode. Just doing that. That kind of helps with the weight distribution for that part at least. But yeah, you get the flying truck mode. Big old wingspan, which doesn't even fit in frame. Yeah, it's kind of neat as it is. It's pretty neat as it is, but yeah, you just gotta do all that backwards. It's a little easier to undo this than it is to go back. That's why I did it this way. It is easier to transform from truck to robot than it is from robot to truck. Just because this, you have to get everything to fit together properly and hope you got it right. With the going the other way, it's kind of like you just kind of undo it, so it's a little easier. You essentially undo it, so it's a little tiny bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and transform back to robot off camera as soon as I fix this, even though I'm going to go ahead and transform back to robot off camera, and we'll go and see get to the combined mode from there. All right. That's all said and done. I'm going to go ahead and raise the camera again. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, it's a lot faster to go from truck to robot than it is from robot to truck, just because it's just easier to get everything apart than it is to get it together. Now, combined mode isn't too difficult, all things considered. I was shocked. It's actually not too hard. Okay, so first thing you want to do is actually, again, take these chess pieces, undo them, and slide them on those rails inward. And again, they don't tab on anything in this mode, they just kind of sit there. But just slide them in. They don't touch all the way, but just slide them in. You're going to have to do that. And then take the biceps, rotate them around, and take that tab into that slot like the original toy. And the reason you had to slide this in is so to make room for this thing, and take the fist and do that. Take this piece and move it up out of the way for now. We'll get back to that in a little bit later. Again, just rotate that around. Tab the arm up into the piece like that, and then fist out of the way and get these up. And okay, part of the combined mode done, stuff done. From here, now down here at the feet, you want to take this foot down, collapse it up like that, collapse it up, and then move these pieces up, like so, and then move this whole assembly forward like this. This will expose the combiner port. Let's do that. Now around back here, you probably have the single most complicated and annoying bit of the whole thing. Getting all this to redo itself. So you gotta, well, you want to untab these, or unpeg the guns for one. Get those off the side for now. Then undo this whole backpack, come down. So if you want to undo that, you want to open this, rotate the head around, like so. Then down here, you want to fold. You want to fold this piece around back underneath. Fold it up like this, and then these little slots here on this piece that will slot over this bridged part right there at the bottom. That will slot over, and that the ridges will help hold it into place. Don't accidentally untransform it too. Make sure it's all the way up, and then you move this piece up a bit, and it's going to stick out a bit. It's just how it is. There's not much you can do. It's going to stick out a little bit, or you're going to do these rails. And then you take these pieces and just fold them down like that. It's kind of skirt armor. And then you up here, you actually take these pieces and just move them, slide them on the rail, and then move them back like this, kind of at a weird angle. And same with this one. Move it around and then slide it at an angle, like so. And then there's one final thing I got to do, which, put this down and grab it. There's the final accessory, which is this helmet piece right here. You want to actually open this up. Now on the head here, you take these antenna pieces and move them back. Then take this piece. There's a peg on the back right there. There's a peg on the back that goes in the screw hole on the back of the head. Just peg it on. It's a very secure connection. And then close it up over top, whilst also opening these up. Make sure everything's actually lined up properly. And there you go. You got the combined head, which unfortunately, thanks to that really loose joint, doesn't stay up properly, unfortunately. At least I can't seem to do that. I don't know why I did that. And unfortunately, you can't do the closed up version of the chest piece because of this piece right here folding in. But you can't attach limbs. I'm just going to grab the Terracons because they're the most convenient for me right now. You can't attach them like usual. Usual nonsense there. Again, Terracons are the most convenient for me right now, so yeah, I know the colors don't match. I would probably recommend probably white and or gray combiners, so like Jazz or see the others Jazz, and I'm trying to remember who else. Jazz, Vortex, Rook, those guys. Well, actually, to agree, even Ripper Snapper here, even though he's some blue. And here's the problem is, my figure's weak knees are going to come into play again because, well, there is nothing stopping those knees from bending forward. There's absolutely nothing stopping these knees from bending forward, unfortunately. There's no lock, nothing, so, yeah, I don't really, this is one of those things where it's kind of neat. They still got it to work as a combiner, with the kit and on everything. But at the same time, I would not trust this thing to stand very well. You can see that there's just nothing there. That's how it is. That's just how it tells you to do it. There's nothing there to stop those from just straight up just bending or something. Adjust how to use the, there we go. It's a bit better, but yeah, there's nothing stopping those knees from just bending forward. Unfortunately, also mine has a really loose little platform here, so his head doesn't like to stay up very much. It just doesn't take much to, but it does still work. I guess that's the new hip is the knee or something, possibly, because all this stuff up here. So that's, I guess, the new hip joint. It does work, I guess, but not particularly well in my opinion. Again, the knees are so bad on mine that I don't trust this to stay standing. So I'm just sitting here waiting for it to collapse at any moment. That's one configuration. There is the second configuration they have, which is, well, you got to undo this stuff. And this is kind of the, you have to undo this part right here. Yeah, this one holds in really tight on mine. There you go. Yeah, undo that, and then out here, you gotta unpeg the wing pieces right here. These pegs right here. They just undo those. Oop. You have to split them anyway, so that's fine. But yeah, you gotta split them, undo those, and then you just kind of. These rails, you collapse them down like this. And just kind of fold up behind and just let it sit. Like that, more or less. You sit like sits like that. If it will stay standing. This is where I'm scared of. I'm noticing it's wanting to fall backwards, oddly enough. Right, I got it. Kind of got it standing now. Kind of got it standing. Oh yeah, the guns can. The other thing is the guns. You can plug the guns into the figure fists on the back right here. I'm just not going to show them, but yeah. Now the wings, let's see which way was it they want you to do it. The wings, because this is the back, so this is actually, they want you to rotate this forward, and this peg right here goes into the fist holes. These fist holes right here. And with this side, rotate it, and then peg into the fist hole. And that is the winged combined mode. The only thing is the wings are very loose and they just don't like to, they don't sit very well. They kind of like to lean. You can see them kind of, the strain of the weight of the wings is really gone a thing. And yeah, he doesn't like to stand. I'm having a hard time getting him to stand properly. Now with the wings added more weight, he was already trying to collapse backwards in the first place. I'm just trying to keep him standing. It's just not working very well. So yeah, it's the combined mode. It's kind of neat that they made it happen, but at the same time, I don't think it's worth it. It's neat they made it work, but not really worth it, honestly. Oh yeah, you can kind of close this up if you want to as well. If you want, you can do that. Yeah, I don't feel it's worth it. It's just, this particular, the legs just become now useless. The wings are now really back heavy, making really back heavy. It's putting a lot of strain on the figure, and it's just hard to get, I can't get mine to stand very well. I'm having to sit here holding it. So again, I just feel like it's not really worth trying to get him into this combined mode. It just creates so many problems. Again, it's just one of those, it's neat that they made it work, kind of, but it's the sheer amount of effort. I'm going to just have to lean it back like there. The sheer amount of effort it takes to make it work is just simply not worth it. And then these, I don't know what you can do with. I can't remember what you're supposed to do with these. And this with the winged mode, I think you're just supposed to. Is there peg holes? No. Yeah, I think there's not really much you can do with these in this mode, I don't think. I guess you can have the but there is the this, and then you can take this scythe and transform it like that, and this becomes a second sword. Yeah, so you can plug it into the combined hands. Unfortunately, the weight is so hard that, yeah, it just does that. The weight is too much for the combined mode hands. It's like, I can kind of get it to work. This one doesn't want to go in. There it goes. Well, yeah, the weight is just too much for that thumb. But it can work. You got that. You can also still do the scythe thing if you want. That's still a thing you can do. But it's just, the combined mode is, in my opinion, not worth it. You see how much the wings are drooping. It's just adding so much weight. I'm a little worried about it. And then that platform for mine just sucks. So yeah, it's if you do get this kit, I would honestly forget about the combined mode and just leave it in just use the robot mode and truck mode sometimes. The truck mode, nice thing is I feel comfortable transforming because unlike the what was it? Vitalis, I think it was Vitalis that was the Optimus Prime one. He had the paint, his paint came off on the window pieces, and that whenever you transform it, because all the stuff was so tight. But this guy, it's not too bad. They also improved a couple things, particularly with the backpack stuff that I feel like the Optimus had some problems there. But he's got a better backpack overall, and it works better. It's easier to handle so much, just the sheer weight and stuff. But it's also, you can just take the wings off and just work with it that way. But as it stands, yeah, it's a great upgrade kit for the robot mode, just the robot mode. If you do the robot mode thing, it's a great upgrade kit for the robot. If you still want to be able to combine him, I would skip it just because this is not, I don't trust this to stay standing. It wants to collapse way too easily. Yeah, it just wants to collapse way too easily, and just I was just sitting there trying to get him to stand, and it just didn't want to stay standing, and just the sheer weight, you see the wings just drooping. It's a cool idea, just unfortunately, it's cool that they made it so the combined mode works still. It's just the execution, I think it's just the figure's just not up to it, unfortunately. Maybe if yours has much tighter knees than mine does. I don't know. But anyway, that's just the weird sheer weight of the wings on the back. It just kind of worry me a bit. But, yeah. It's a great robot mode. It's a fantastic robot mode. It looks amazing in robot mode. The truck mode is actually pretty nice for the most part. The transformation is a little more difficult, and sometimes we feel like unnecessarily so sometimes. But it's a fantastic upgrade kit, I think, overall. I think it makes a definite improvement to the robot mode. It's not really an improvement, or it doesn't make it worse, but it doesn't make it better when it comes to the truck mode. And the combined mode, though, is actively, I think, worse. It's just, this was kind of, feels like just a kind of a, well, let's just see if we can still make it combine after all that stuff anyway. And yeah, it's still a good figure. I would still recommend picking it up if you really want to have a really awesome Nova Prime. But if you want to still be able to combine, just forget it. Just don't do it. Just combined mode is just not really worth it, in my opinion. But Robo mode is great, and it's fantastic. I think it's $80 kit. I want to say it's like an $80 kit or something like that. I think it's worth it. The only problem is, of course, getting this figure now is kind of more difficult. It's a little difficult, funny enough, because they're selling for quite a bit now, the Battle Core Primes, which is just funny to me because I found like 5 of them for like $12 way back when. And I know I'm kind of kicking myself for not picking them up at that price, but whatever. I still think it's great. It's a great kit, and I think it makes this a kind of F figure into a fantastic figure, at least robot mode. So you just got to watch it, since some of the original figures limitations become more noticeable with the upgrade kit on. So yeah, that's it. I would recommend this overall. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like, comment, subscribe below, all that stuff. Click that notification bell, all that crap. And I shall see you next time with another video review.